Rhapsody in Blue by Gershwin is a piece that Eric Goldberg, who directed Carnival, has always wanted to do.
The legend has it that Paul Whiteman, the jazz conductor, had contracted George Gershwin to write this piece, and he forgot about it. You know, it was about a few weeks before, you know, his brother Ira reminded him, oh, whatever happened to that piece that you need to premiere in 2 weeks? And George went, oh my God, and started to write. And he didn't have a title for it. I guess Ira came up with Rhapsody in Blue. But it was a wow, it was a big sensation, because it was the first time that they had presented in an entire program jazz in a concert hall. You know, and of course Rhapsody being the perfect blend of jazz and concert music, you know, it was just a sensation from the opening clarinet wail, you know, all the way to the final note. As far as the piece itself is concerned, it has slow passages, fast passages, humorous passages, repeats, things that you can actually capitalize upon in animation. And they just suggested certain things to me. We would say, well, gee, that bit sounds like a pile driver. This bit sounds like a rivet gun. This bit sounds like ice skating in Rockefeller Center, and so on and so forth. And we constructed the story around that.
Rhapsody really exemplifies American energy. You know, I lived in Europe for 10 years, and they see Americans as like little bees. You know, it's like they're always buzzing around and doing something, but they're never quite sure what's going on over there. I think Gershwin really captured America and the American feeling.
Al Hirschfeld was our artistic consultant on this piece. Of course, we had permission from Mr. Hirschfeld to go ahead and adapt any of his existing work, so we immediately went to our large collection of Hirschfeld books and drew inspiration for the character design.
Eric Goldberg had always been an admirer of Al Hirschfeld. He felt that Al Hirschfeld's style really was something that lent itself to animation. And there were a lot of characters that Al had created that Eric used almost exactly the way Al drew them originally, because Eric really felt strongly about how Al's characters could display emotion and feeling and so forth with a simple line.
The star of the piece is the line, you know. Hirschfeld will tell you the whole point is
the line. The line is the important thing. It expresses the emotional intent of the artist. When you make a line, it communicates. Now, when you move that line, it's another dimension, and it communicates further.
Often, a line is used in animation just to carry color and not much more. And in this particular case, because we were, you know, utilizing his style, the line itself had to have a character to it. That had to have a personality, or the piece wouldn't have come off in the same way.
One of the things that Al Hirschfeld does in all of his drawings is to hide Nina somewhere in the drawing. Nina was Al Hirschfeld's daughter, and we tried to continue that tradition in Rhapsody in Blue by putting the name Nina in. I think it's 3 places in the film.
If you look at Duke brushing his teeth in the morning, the edge of his toothpaste tube actually says Nina on it. And likewise in Margaret's collar and Fufu, her dog, in the furry bits, cleanup artist named Kathy Bailey actually worked Nina's into the animation cleanups there too.
And also there are several other names that we are in the background in different areas that our artists put their own names in there, or names of people that worked on the film. You'll find Goldberg and Doug and Emily and all kinds of names in there. Eric designed a lot of the characters depicting people that he knew, or people that were worked on the film, and people that were associated with the film. John Culhane is there. He's he's Flying John, as he likes to call himself. Al and Dolly Hirschfeld are in there. Eric and Sue Goldberg are involved. And his youngest daughter is the girl Rachel in the film.
Since it's Rhapsody in Blue, we started with a blue palette, you know, and then that expanded to become, you know, purples, lavenders, greens, things that still had a high blue content in them, you know, and the trick was to keep a very, very limited palette, but let you know what time of day it was.
something we did differently that we don't do in animated features is we actually painted all the backgrounds, because they're so graphic, digitally on the computer. So we didn't have the problem of you know, getting in there and painting each cobblestone and each brick. So there's a very flat feeling to it, which is what we wanted. You know, because that's the way Hirschfeld does. He does large panels of color behind his drawings.
Every now and again, Susan would use a warm color, you know, to be able to pick out a detail, like if it was Duke's red lunchbox or Rachel's red ball or something like that. So your eye went straight to it. In a field of blue, you know, you actually saw certain things that were going to be interesting later in the story.
When I saw the film, finally, I was tremendously excited by it. I thought it was a wonderful collaboration of a moving line and a static line, and it, to me, it's complete.
It's been absolutely great to see Rhapsody in Blue finally completed and see people respond to it in a big way. I think we all felt at the studio it was wonderful to take the genius of George Gershwin and the genius of Al Hirschfeld and marry the two of them together in a funny, moving story.